Okay, 78 points lower on the Nifty, 10,288 is where we find ourselves at. Amisha Vora is Joint Managing Director at Prabhudas Lilladher, and she's joining us with some perspective on what she's making of the market. Amisha, thanks very much. Even with this 80-point cut today, the Nifty is just 200 points off its all-time highs. What do you reckon? I mean, are the dominating factors at play? Just a quick top-down kind of view on the market before we talk about what you really like and what you're doing.
I think the first perspective is today is the last day, so that is bound to be a little more volatile and corrective in nature. But as we are heading towards December, I think we are lined up with, from trading perspective, of course, a few events on interest rates perspective globally and domestically, and beyond that, the Gujarat election. So, which is where a bit of question marks are around in the minds of investors. But I mean, we as a house feel that the underlying things are set very well, and after a long wait, as all of us we know, there will be base effect to catch up from December and March results onwards. So we will be on a very stable wicket overall. That's what our view is.
Okay, well, we have some news coming in on Hindalco, where they've cut aluminium product prices by over 2% from today. Manisha, would you have any thoughts specifically on Hindalco, as well as what's happening in the metal space, what you like, dislike, and where you might be increasing, decreasing positions? Amisha, is my voice reaching you?
Hi, sorry, actually, I missed it because I couldn't quite hear your last question.
I was just asking you that, we've just got news that Hindalco has cut aluminium product prices by over 2% from today. In general, your view, one, on Hindalco as well as the entire metal space, how are you positioning yourself?
No, in general, on the metal space, we are bullish, as well as we are comfortable with Hindalco also, and we have a buy rating on it. But I'm sure there is a little easing of the prices in the short term, and that could be just a trading volatility, but we continue to maintain a positive outlook on the stock.
Okay. Amisha, the other thing which I actually wanted to discuss with you is about the GDP data that's coming out this evening. It is expected to show a recovery on a Q-on-Q basis, primarily led by industries this time. Do you think that if it does show a significant recovery, it might in fact enthuse the markets, or because it's backdated information, because it's expected, it probably won't move the needle too much?
I would say that, as what you said, the second thing, that it is a little backdated information, and in terms of monthly, some of the key monthly parameters, numbers of auto or fuel consumption or etc., some of the productions we know, so it is probably factored in, and that should not move, the GDP number should not move the needle too much.
Fair enough. Amisha, what other areas are you sort of bullish on an absolute basis in the market? What are the pockets really?
So, as we all know that a lot of money chasing these stocks in different ways, so valuation comfort by the day is reducing, and there are still certain pockets which are kind of stuck, say large pharma and IT. So the selection is from largely domestic consumption piece, and we've been focusing on some of the restructuring, but not completely restructuring on debt side, but restructuring business stories where there can be a good amount of value creation. One of them we like is Jain Irrigation. We think that there the broad value unlocking over next one and a half year could be very good and very strong, as so many businesses are built which can start unlocking value gradually. We also like, as a pocket, we think that the action should start building gradually in a lot of domestic consumption places, in particularly also the commercial vehicle side, as they have also gone through their own cycle. So some of the ancillaries to the commercial vehicle financiers is the space which we think should do well over next couple of years. And also some of the unorganized to organized, which we all were talking about pre-GST era. Then gradually I think the action should start building over there, because all of them had destocking issues last quarter and all that. So now I think whether it is the plywood segment or ceramic tile segment or even the logistic players, I think that all domestic related segments should do well.
All right, Amisha, on that positive note, we're going to wrap up the conversation as well. Thanks very much for joining in and talking to us. So that's the view coming in from Prabhudas Lilladher.